Moving on from question 2 in LawHub Logical Reasoning, drill set number 4, we come to question 3. We keep our highlight tool ready and we begin by reading the question stem as always. And it states, the reasoning of the real estate agent's argument is flawed because this argument blank. So we're just going to highlight flawed because this argument does something. And we remember that identify the flaw question tasks are one of our big 4 predictable question tasks, being identify an argument or identify an assumption, identify a flaw, find a way to strengthen, find a way to weaken. So we're going to read this in real life situation involving a real estate agent, and we're going to try to think mentally and predict pretty aggressively why this argument might not make sense after we read it and identify our conclusion and highlight that conclusion as always. So reading the real estate agent to the client, you should buy the most expensive house that you can afford. All right, so there are rare occasions where I might just highlight the conclusion immediately, and that's when I see a recommendation that is this blatant. You should buy the most expensive house that you can afford is going to be clearly the conclusion. If you're looking to expedite your approach as you're working towards a 165 or 170 plus, this is a way you could do it. Just gonna know that's going to be my conclusion. So we do have to read the evidence, though, of course. So the real estate agent says to the client, you should buy the most expensive house that you can afford because people who suggest that you buy the cheapest house on the market and fix it up are not considering that you do not have the time or expertise to repair a badly run down house, nor are they considering the cost of doing such work. Okay, so we're talking about why we should buy the most expensive house and using as the evidence that we shouldn't buy the cheapest house. Aren't there houses in between cheapest and most expensive? This should be a relatively easy flaw to identify in terms of just degree. These aren't the only 2 options. So we should mentally predict we're looking for an answer choice that states there's a lot of options in between cheapest and most expensive, albeit potentially in some pretty bland LSAT style language. So starting with choice A, presumes without providing justification that no one buying a home has the time or skill to repair a rundown house. Well, this real estate agent is speaking to one client, so no one, well, it's not no one, that's extreme. We can eliminate A almost immediately, and it doesn't match what we predicted about this lack of degree in between cheapest and most expensive either. So hopefully we can eliminate A almost immediately. Then choice B, illicitly appeals to the fears or insecurities of the client. But fears or insecurities? I mean, maybe the client has those, but I'd have to have a whole lot of additional information to guarantee that's the case. So we can eliminate B as needing additional information. Then choice C, illicitly employs 2 different senses of the word cheapest. It just uses cheapest once over here in the argument. It says cheapest here. There's no other use of the word cheapest, so C is not the flaw. And then choice D, considers only one of several possible alternatives to the option it attempts to support. Again, bland LSAT language, but this is absolutely what we expected that, expensive, most expensive, and cheapest houses are not the only 2 houses on the market. So D definitely matches what we predicted, and we should be able to select it pretty immediately. And then lastly, choice E fails to consider that the cost of the least expensive house combined with the expenses arising from its repair may be no more than the cost of the most expensive house. Do not talk yourself into this answer. We're not comparing the actual cost of the repairs to the cost of the house. And again, it just isn't our mental prediction. Make sure that you've got your mental prediction of there's more degrees in house price than most expensive and least expensive to avoid talking yourself into E just because you got rid of everything that came before it. But hopefully, you've already selected choice D for this question a little while ago. Thank you for watching this logical reasoning drill set number 4 explanation video from the content over at lawhub.lsac.org. If you enjoyed the tips it contained, please consider liking the video or subscribing to our channel so that you'll be notified when additional videos are produced by my guru. Also, check out the description below because in it you'll find additional links that will help you as you continue your LSAT journey, including links to full sets of full prep test explanations produced by my guru. And remember that while you're preparing for the LSAT, it's supposed to be hard.